Hello everybody, this is Maniac for Bricks, and I am here today with another LEGO MOC video. Some of you may have seen this a while ago, and I don't recall if I made a video about it previously, but I wanted to spice this one up and make it more, clear and easy to see this minifigure sculpture of Big Bird. That's a lot to tackle. First, a sculpture. I usually don't make sculpture models. I've made the infamous Bart Simpson one, but aside from that, there hasn't really been much in the terms of sculpture and just using basic bricks to build something. And then it's a minifigure, so without using pre-made or already, established MOCs, I just tried to build and get the general minifigure shape. And then Big Bird on top of that. Why Big Bird? Because I had a lot of these magenta and orange pieces that reminded me of Big Bird's legs. I thought it would be a cool idea, especially had a lot of yellow, because you guys know I build in yellow like almost all the time. So this is as best as I did when I first built it. I will admit, first of all, this thing is so big that it doesn't fit entirely in the camera frame, but there's a quick look down at the feet. Not much to see there, but just to want to identify that even though it's a minifigure, it still has the webbed toes like Big Bird has. And towards the top, we have a little bit of tufts of hair or fur or feathers, whatever you want to call it. Feathers, I think, is the right word. I don't know my animals, even though I've watched Sesame Street. Just little tufts in between things, and it's actually changed quite a bit as far as the very top of the head to try to make that shape. Because every time I would bring it to conventions, I would have to tear it apart just a little bit, just a little off the top, to fit it inside of a cardboard box. The rest of it stays intact, and the rest of it actually fits in there by taking the arms off, and, like I said, very minimal, but still, everything's pretty much there. So, I will admit, this does look very strange, especially for the minifigure design of it. I tried to make more of the triangular shape for the minifig. If going one and one, two angular, so I had tried to make it more, of the triangular slope that minifigure torsos have. Still might need a little bit of work on that. And instead of trying to make it as deep as like a printing, I decided to make it actually textured in the middle for some of the feathers for Big Bird. It may look a little strange, though, that way. The minifigure hands, pretty much, minifigure hands, didn't really change that for Big Bird. And I really tried hard for the face. That's sad to say. My favorite part was the bottom, and everything working up is like, to, okay, that needs to be redoing. So, basically, let me just move the camera a bit closer, you get a better look at it. But, you can see, even on Big Bird, if you actually see the puppets of Big Bird and like the costumes or whatever, there are like blue for the main part of the eyes and then some sort of pink behind it or around it in some way. I'm not entirely sure, but I tried to duplicate that, and it could be better. My mom even said that it kind of looks a little creepy and maybe the eyes should actually be facing outward instead of inward. That's true. I might try that. I know the head by itself is going to need a lot of modification. First of all, it needs to be more rounded. Because if you notice Big Bird, it has a lot of feathers on the right, and especially like more detail to the head would be great along the sides. So I'll have to get more yellow pieces in order to flesh that out. Maybe take some from the torso, I don't know. Then you have the beak, which I tried to make a little bit slanted, but again, still not quite there, and because I'm using basic bricks, a lot of it is going to look square in areas. But this is definitely like way too square, too robotic. Some people, some kids rather, even at conventions when I've brought this around for the past couple months, or over the course of this year rather, they've said that this looks like Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's because they're more familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's than Sesame Street, which I'd have to say is sad on its own, but it does still have that robotic, not so lifelike look that Big Bird would better be represented in. So there actually is a little bit of pink inside of the mouth, the kind of magenta, for trying to make the back of the mouth more realistic. You can kind of see a little bit of red along here, but yeah, in general, like I said, I know that the top needs a lot of work, and it's my least favorite part currently as of recording this video. This is how the whole thing looks. I do think that if I modified this a little bit more, I could make it so I wouldn't have to take the arms off like this in kind of assembly, which is simple and stays together when transported, but still, it wouldn't have to take it off as frequently if I actually modified a bit on the ends and have like hinged arms. This would be great to lead into building sculptures of minifigures in this size and style. I've actually had somebody at Brickfest live in Buffalo ask me about something similar because of this sculpture. So I'm really happy that that they approached me about this, and I would like to improve on it. But for right now, I'm okay with it. I liked what I did for what I had at the time of making it several months ago to almost a year ago. But I do respect that it's going to need a lot more updating. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this Big Bird sculpture. Should I make some other ones based on Sesame Street or other kids' programming? Or should I just go with the minifigure angle and not have to worry about all the nitty-gritty details? We'll see you next time with more LEGO videos. And MOCs will be uploaded. There'll be like redos of some MOCs we'll already see. But there will still be a couple of new ones, so stay tuned and subscribed for more.